welcome. I am Carol V. Brown Jones, and welcome to Gigi United by Love. Gigi stands for grandmothers and their girls, and that girl means their daughters, their daughter in laws, granddaughters. We're going to throw in the grandsons as well, and cousins, sisters, nieces, and your good friends too. This is for you. That means all women are welcome here. I focus on the grandmothers because grandmothers are special, right? Most of you agree with me. On this podcast, I will share wisdom from wise women, family groups coming together and getting to know each other better, closing the generation gap. Women and some men with some good business tips for us and things that we need to know about. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you will share this program with your friends and subscribe to the YouTube channel and to this podcast. I'm ready to start. Are you reading my newsletter? Well, I hope you are. There's some wonderful things in there. There's some beauty tips this month, and there are some children's books that are being highlighted that you want to check into because I know there's some young people out there that probably need some new things to read. And these books are beautifully uplifting books. So check those out on the website. Where you purchase them, the information for how to purchase the books are linked next to the book information. Thank you for support. Hello, and welcome to the Gigi United by Love podcast. Tonight, I have two beautiful women with me, Deborah Thompson and Penny Lafferty. They're good friends, but they also business partners. And I want you to know that this is Monday, December the 1st, tomorrow, Tuesday, December the 2nd. These two ladies will be with me again live on Zoom, and they're going to go into deep details about their business that they are in together. And you want to be there so that you can hear more, ask questions, get a better idea if this is something that may interest you, or maybe you know someone who could use it. So do check the newsletter. It does require a registration, but it's free on Zoom. Now, this is a new thing I'm offering, Tuesday Talks. So each Tuesday, following the podcast, the Monday before, I will be talking maybe sometime with the person who was on the podcast, if not their topic or a general topic along what they were speaking about. And you can come ask questions and get more information. So keep that in mind. This is for December, that is totally free. Come January, this will be an offering for subscribers to my newsletter and my podcast. So do yourself a favor right now and register for the podcast and newsletter so that you can be part of ongoing discussions and additional activities that I'll be offering. And you'll hear more about that later in the month. So do plan on being with us Tuesday, December 2nd, to hear more about the unfranchised business that Penny and Deborah are going to share. Stay to the end. All right, today I have a very special program. I have two ladies with me today. They're good friends and they're business partners. So we're going to meet them and find out how this friendship came about. We have Deborah Thompson that you have met before and Penny. Okay, ladies, introduce yourself. And Penny, tell us who you are. Deborah, you're on screen for me. Let's you start first. I met you first, and then you introduced me to Penny. So thank you. I love introductions to other beautiful people. Tell us about yourself. Where'd you grow up?
Very good.
Where's your-
Thank you. Deborah Thompson, and I'm from Exton, Pennsylvania. I'm a proud mother of three adult children who have children of their own. I'm a 74 year of age. I don't use the word old, year of age grandmother and great grandmother.
Ah, beautiful, and not afraid to say it.
Not afraid at all.
I'm glad to hear that. How about you, Penny? Let's start with what, give us the same information there, and then we'll come back and forth.
Okay, my name's Penny Lafferty. I'm a very proud 78-year-old, 8 years young, I should say. I'm a widow now, and I love what I do for a living. And
Okay.
I grew up in Philadelphia, in the streets of Philadelphia.
All right. And your family have children?
And I am a great grandmother. I have four daughters. I have nine grandchildren, and I have a great granddaughter who just turned 9 2 days ago.
Oh, beautiful. I love when grandmothers stand up and be proud and become greater and greater. Be-
Well, the Lord said, go and multiply, so I obeyed.
All right. Good for you.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay, Deborah, tell us a little bit more about growing up, where you grew up, and tell us a little bit about your journey.
My journey. Oh, I love that word, journey. And the journey is definitely better together. I grew up in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, not far from Exton. Wonderful community called Carver Court, named after George Washington Carver.
Nice.
And my parents were entertainers, and my father worked a full-time job as well. My mother did not have to work. My father did everything. He treated her as the queen that she deserved to be. So that's
Beautiful.
how I grew up.
And
And
that's reflects in you. You're the queen that you know you are. Beautiful. I love that. That makes a
thank
difference,
you.
doesn't it? The
It-
parents, and so when people are disturbed in life and not finding their joy, quite often, most of the time, it is back to the childhood. Something in the childhood that's holding them back from feeling their full loving self. A lot of
yes,
unworthiness and embarrassment and things like that. But you fortunately were blessed to have parents that encourage you, and now you're entertainer.
that's correct. You're right.
So tell us more. Tell us more.
Okay. Yes, I'm a singer-songwriter. And from watching both of them, my father played guitar and my mother sang. My father did the MC work in the band. And just watching them, I developed a style between the both of them. My mother was quite dynamic. She did all of the James Brown songs and the Wilson Pickett songs, and she did some Etta James. And my father, people came from all over the country to learn to play guitar from my father because of the fact that he created his own chords, so his chord structure was so vast that people waiting outside to get into the club thought they were going to see a 10-piece band because the sound was so large. And when they got in, they said, it's only 5 pieces. Yep, but the sound was so big because of his chord structure. And just to give you a little inside story, there's a place in Philadelphia, there was a place called the Uptown Theater on Broad Street. And all of the musicians across the country would come to the Uptown Theater. We saw James Brown, we saw the Jackson Five, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Smokey Robinson. All of these groups all performed in one place. You know,
Wow.
when you go to a concert these days, you only see one performer
Right,
and you're
right.
paying all this money, right? You could see 10, 20 groups in one day. So my parents took us every Sunday after church because they took us to see these bands because they wanted to learn the latest achievements, the latest, what do you call that? The how those bands did the live instead of playing sounding just like the arrangements. They
Okay.
wanted to see the new arrangements that they had. And so we got to do that. And I just got to see so many entertainers, and it has really molded me as an entertainer.
That's beautiful. So was that your primary source of business, job, or full-time entertainer?
For a while, I still entertain, but I have found a new passion with the unfranchised business. And it just has developed me in a different way. The music developed me in one way, and in another way, the unfranchised business has developed me. Penny and I always talk about it quite often. It's the most vast self-development program ever in the world, as a matter of fact,
Wow,
especially
well,
in this country.
we
Yes.
definitely want to hear about that. But
Mhm.
first, let's learn more about Penny.
Okay. You got frozen towards the end. My name's Penny Lafferty, and my background was in nursing. I grew up a little bit different. My mom and dad divorced while she was pregnant with me, so I never got to really know my dad. So I grew up as a welfare child. A lot of the kids couldn't play with me. I guess they thought my mom was going to take their wives, thought my mom might be taking their husbands or whatever goes in. So I grew up a little bit on the tough side. Had a lot of fights, kicked some butts. I certainly got my butt kicked a lot. And the soup kitchens, and but grew up. I was severe tongue-tied as a child, so that was a major part of a lot of the fights and all, people laughing at you, but and bullying me. But it was the greatest gift because I have learned to love. I have learned that when I see someone being bullied and all, I immediately go to their defense because I know that feeling. I was on there. And I've never had a compliment till I was in ninth grade. I'll never forget Mrs. McLaughlin saying to me, "Don't let these D's and F proclaim that's who you are. You have something more to give." So I grew up tough. I ended up being an unwed mother and never really appreciating myself. Dropped out of school. I kind of a rough kid. I have to share, I'm going to share a little deep. I even ended up in prison. I ended up in the house of correction, but I walked into the courtroom at 1801 Vine Street. I'll never forget it. And I had that chip on my shoulder, like I was better than I'm 15, I'm just about going on 16. Like I'm the tough, because that's all I knew how to be. It was a defense. Now I know that, but back then. So he said, "You think this is for hooky in school." I was truancy, because we went to school to fight. We didn't really learn as much. And he said, "You really think you're tough, huh?" And I said, "I hold my own," cockiness I was portraying at the time. And that judge gave me 37 days in the House of Correction, and I would kiss his feet if I saw him today because it changed the way I thought. I started thinking about Mrs. McLaughlin again, that I was worth something. And I finally went back, I got my GED, and I just started to learn to like myself. And I always talk to my Father in heaven, not my biological father. My dream was to have a daddy. I wanted a father so much. I used to see myself sitting at the top of the steps, and then daddy's coming home, and he would come looking for me. Sorry. Our Father in heaven has become my dad. He was my Father in heaven. And well, he ended up spoiling me so much. I became a daddy's girl. I would say, "Here I am, Father, coming at you again. I want to go to night school." And I went to night school and I went to Bucks County Community College, and that's where I got my GED. And then I was a waitress for a long time. And I kept looking at the oldest waitress and I kept thinking, that's going to be me. And that's a big fear because they were struggling in their, I'm only in my 30s and they see them struggling, 70 years old, carrying trays. So I went back and I got my nursing. I worked 11 to 7, took the kids to daycare during the day and got some sleep. And I finally got my nurse's aide, and then I did it, kept doing it. I got my LPN, and then I kept doing it and doing. I got my bachelor's in nursing, and I loved being a nurse. It was great, but we were broke, and I did a lot of those MLMs
What's
things,
MLN? What's MLN?
like Amway, Mary Kay, those kind of things.
Hmm.
But I just wasn't making any money. And then my husband, my late husband, I'm a widow now, and we invested. We took a second mortgage. I don't know how we got the credit because we didn't even have a FICO score. I mean, it must have been five, whatever the number. We didn't have a number, but we did. We got it vending machines, and by the second year, we got the foreclosure. And that's when I said, Father, I'm talking to you again. Come here, I need you. Because I was praying, and 3 days later, this man knocked at my door and showed me something that was so radically different. That was 31 years ago. And I said, Father, I need you. And I need you as my silent partner. That's why you always see L period. It's our Lord, and then it's Penny. My husband died 13 years ago. He had an aneurysm, and the whole company just embraced me and all my partners, especially my Deborah and I have been friends. I bet it's at least 30 years, best friends.
This is a beautiful story, ladies. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank you.
sharing.
I hope I
And now I
didn't
want
hold
to
you
bring you
all.
together, if I can, on camera together so that you can share a little bit about your friendship and what it is that brought you together. Tell us a little bit how you met. Okay, Penny, you were in the business first and you brought Deborah in.
Right. I was in the business, and Debbie has already tried a couple of things, but and then you got out or something. I forget, Deborah. But then we introduced you to because remember how swollen your feet were? And we,
What happened was that my mother died 2 weeks after her 60th birthday, way too soon to be gone. A few years later, I found myself going down that same path where my legs had swollen so badly. So they were so big, I couldn't even get socks on. And I said, oh my God, oh my God. I made a doctor's appointment. Of course, doctors, if they don't think it's life threatening, you wait. In the meantime, a high school friend of mine had stopped by and brought me a purple bottle. And she said, well, I know you're going to the doctor, but while you're waiting, just take this. And I'm like, yeah. She said, just take this. So I did. And within 3 days of taking this product, my legs started to go down. And within a week, completely gone. And I said, oh my, I need to get more of this. So what happened was that young lady, my friend, she disappeared on me.
I know.
I'm like,
But she
what
got you
the
started though.
heck?
That's why I
So
call one. That's why I call one of those earth angels. She was there for the moment. She connected you with what she needed to do, and then she did her job and she was out of there.
then she was out. And so I made a few phone calls, and somebody said, you know, who you should get in touch with is Penny Lafferty. Penny Lafferty is moving, Penny Lafferty this, Penny Lafferty that. I said, yeah, you're right. I need to get a hold of this Penny Lafferty. And that's what happened. I got to meet with Penny and her late husband, who I adored, Pat, and the friendship right away. Her warmth, her big heart. She was down to earth, and her loyalty, oh, unfathomable.
Okay.
And we were friends, struck it off, and 30 years later, here we are.
That's beautiful. Beautiful story. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Did many trips together.
Mm. So
Sleep
tell us about,
overnight, Debbie. Come stay at my place. Alan, you come stay at mine. We've done so much together.
that's nice. Tell us more about the business. Now tell us, Penny, you explain to us what this is.
I find it's a little bit of everything. We have many careers. We have an online shopping mall. We have an online presence. Now we're working with a lot of the students from different colleges. I feel
What's the
that
name of the company?
the name of the company is
Yes.
that what you, yeah, marketamericashop.com. I'm very proud of this company. The company has received so many accolades. They never advertise. All of us do all the advertisements. We love what the company has given us. I
Mhm.
really feel you can go to school and go to college. I'm not condemning any of that, but most of them will teach you to work for somebody else. In
True.
our university, if we can train you and all, you'll find you never have to work for anybody else but you. And in today's world, everybody has a little something on the side.
Oh, she froze.
Yes, Penny is so humble. She would never tell you this, but Penny is a member of our Millionaires Club with our company.
Beautiful.
That's how vast and prolific that this company is that we are partnered with.
She's still frozen. So you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit more?
Yes. It's an e-commerce and digital marketing online business. And the founder, it's a family owned business. The founders, J.R. Ridinger and his beautiful wife, Lauren Ridinger, founded this company. And he just felt that people needed to own their own businesses to define their own finances. The structures out there pay from the top to the bottom. Whereas you have someone who's a department head or this large company like the car dealerships, the realtors, beauty salons, barbershops, any of those, there's only one person that's going to be able to take care of the customer that walks in. And so the rest, everybody else is left out in the cold, waiting for another customer to walk in. So, what our founder did was to make that was called a horizontal structure, where you have this, and each time it gets lower, people make less and less. They make only a small amount of the profits that the company makes. So, what our founder did was he flipped the horizontal marketing structure on the side, and it's called the vertical marketing structure, where there's only two lines of distribution. Everybody can lock arms, and we pay from the bottom to the top
Hmm.
100%.
This
100%.
is sounding
What
really
company pays you
complicated.
100%?
It
Huh?
sounds really complicated. So I know we're going to have a workshop with you ladies to really explain this because it sounds so exciting. And I'm sure the listeners would want to know more. As far as, okay, so Penny mentioned she had been in like some other multi-level businesses. How is this different? How is it different than
Yeah.
Amway? And yeah, go
But
Yep.
ahead.
but because I've done so many, it was almost nearly impossible for a person to succeed because one of the faults, and I hate to make a fault, but of an MLM is they got paid to bring a person in. See,
Right.
we
Mhm.
don't get a check. We don't get paid to bring you on. We're paid on your success. So the goal is for us to help you succeed and that you participate in that as well. Where multi-level, they got a check to bring you on, then the most attention that they're going to give is to bring in another person and another person because they're paid horizontal, usually down 7 to 8 levels, and then they don't get paid on the other people. Where we're paid from, like Deborah said, from the bottom up. It's phenomenal. In fact, when we place an order, we put our points at the last person that we brought on. So everybody gets 100% of the points. And our goal is to help you succeed.
Mhm.
And then we get praised for it too, because we did what we were supposed to do, help you succeed. So you bring you to the table, we bring us to the table, and it's a win-win. So many people call this a God thing because they can finally have a chance. I was that average person. I needed help and guidance to get started. It was so simple that I had a little confused. All the leaders, we all chip in, and I don't want to brag, but it moved me to the Millionaires Club from
Yeah.
this welfare kid who
That's
took one more
beautiful.
chance. I didn't want to look at anything. But the most important thing, and this is what I want to get across to everyone, it gave me back me. I had lost me through the world. I was always trying, and it gave me to know that I can look anybody in the eyes and say to them, if you just put your foot forward and I put my foot, and the team will all put our hands and feet forward and help you to the top. And we all win. And it's
That
beautiful.
is so beautiful, Penny. That is
It
so
is.
correct. And you are absolutely right. That's what makes us different, as you said, Carol. And it enables us to help other people to elevate. There are so many places, so many companies where they have their finger down on you and you can't do this and you can't do that. And you only get 2 weeks of vacation and you took too many days off and this kind of thing. And our company enables us to help other people to elevate, and we teach other people how, not only how to make money is not everything, but not only how to make money and create wealth, but also to become the best version of themselves because of the programs that we have. And Penny was saying the different universities that we have, so that's what makes us
Explain that a
different.
little bit. When you say different universities, are you calling like college programs or what are you talking about?
Penny, you want to explain the
You want
universities?
Sure. Like we have, let's go into Debt Shredder. We have a lot of brokers and realtors, people who are into finance, and they'll jump on that. You own it too. Everybody owns all of them. It's like an umbrella, and you own the umbrella. But every spoke is a career, and they're all yours. The wealthiest and richest people in the world have many income streams. We offer you at least eight six-figure income streams. Some of my
Mhm.
partners do makeup, some websites, some debt elimination. It's a great program to get somebody out of debt. And some of our people, some of our partners will educate themselves in that arena, or selling
Mhm.
websites. We'll train you how to sell websites, or
Mhm.
makeup, or weight loss, or skincare,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
nonprofits. We do a lot to help nonprofits.
Mhm.
And in
Mhm.
fact, they're revamping that to make it even better. And it was great before.
Mhm.
Oh,
We my
And if
wheelhouse.
someone, yes,
Oops. Oh,
it's
I
the
was going to say
nonprofits.
my wheelhouse with the my university is health and well-being and anti-aging, because I'm a
mhm.
product of the product because I've been using the product for 30 years.
You're a good example
People
of
say that exactly.
you
So
look
the
beautiful.
universities that you pick out, just like Penny said about the debt shredder, we have that university that somebody can market. But like she said, we have 8 to 12 different divisions. If you were to walk into a regular mall, you would call those stores. We call
Mhm.
them our universities or divisions.
Okay,
So
I'm glad you
that's
said that because that helps us understand it a little bit better. Because when we think
Yeah.
university, we're thinking classrooms, education, but you're
Mhm.
talking
Right.
like different types of product lines or marketing
Yes.
And training.
areas.
Right. And
Yeah.
training. Like when you go into a college, are you going to enroll in economics? Or are you going to enroll in,
Mhm.
we have several of those.
Mhm.
And you can pick a unit, but you don't have to. You can,
Yeah.
you learn as you become a partner and you learn because you own them all. I don't do any of them now, but I help guide in all of them. And
Yes.
it depends on that person. We want to find the best fit for them, but they still
Yes.
have it all.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what are answer some of the most frequent questions that people may be having when you first present this information to them? What's some things I'm trying to think of possible questions, but I'm sure you received questions before about
When can I get started? That's
Yeah.
Well, tell us how
that's
to get started. And I just want to let everybody know this, we're just introducing this. We're actually going to have these ladies do a full out presentation on this because I think this is something that we need to hear. Today is the environment of people's positions being gone like that. It is time for us to take our responsibility for ourselves. In my new book, Get on Board the New Underground Railroad, it's all about us standing up and taking responsibility for ourselves and our families and our communities. And so this is something that we need to go deeper in, but we'll set that up for people to who are very interested to register and come and spend the time and have a live Zoom where you all can answer questions and things like that. But just first, right now, some of the questions like when can I start? How big of an investment is this?
Go ahead, Deborah. You want to go? You want me to? The
I was gonna say when somebody asked me that, of course, within our overview and our presentation, it shows what the application fee is. Application, because you have to apply. We just don't take anybody and everybody. We make the best fit, like Penny said, the best fit to the person and the person to the best fit for them. But the application is for an unfranchise is 149.95. That's not $1,400 or $14,000. It's $149.95 to start your own business, to make your way to become $1 million club member like Penny Lafferty, like a Penny Lafferty, and so many other people in our unfranchised business. There is nothing else out there that does that.
We have another question. How much
Yeah,
time does it take?
the investment of time is a part-time investment, 8 to 15 hours per week, or whatever you can put in. There's a lot of busy people out there because they're working 2, 3, 4 jobs just to try to
Mhm.
make it. So whatever we can do to help impact that. If you have 2 hours to spend on your business, if you have four, we suggest 8 to 15 hours per week to invest in your time to learn how to run your unfranchised business. Talk to
That's not a lot of time. I mean, that's reasonable. That's because if you think about it, you have a second job, that's going to be probably
right.
more hours than that. And if most of the time a second job is like a minimum wage type of position, like last year I worked for Christmas at the Macy's. I said, I'm not doing this no more. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, we do that.
So for something that you can do at home, like I know I was Amway and Avon, all that stuff too, and you had to go to people's houses and do these presentations. Is this not that type of setup or what?
Mhm.
Well, we can do that, but we
Yeah.
have Zoom now.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
You're
do.
not trying to bring everybody in that fogs the mirror. There's times that we'll say to someone, maybe it's just not the right time for you, but let's stay in touch, you know,
Mhm.
and they can buy our products because we're
Mhm.
not, we want to make sure that this is something that they want too. So if it's not, because our company's name's it.
That's right.
Right.
That's
And there's different ways of partnering.
mhm.
149.95 is the one part. No,
That's the
but there's
application.
different ways.
Oh,
That's
it's
just
like,
the application. Yeah.
yeah, it's like if you were to open a shoe store,
Mhm.
what would you need in your store? Or if you're a pizza shop, what would you need in your pizza shop? In your shoe store, you would need shoes to open up with. If it
Yeah.
were a pizza shop, you would need dough or the pizza to open it up. It's the same with the unfranchised business. You are going to need some product in there. And those options are fast start program or
Yeah.
uh, pay as you go program.
If you
So
go. Yeah.
yeah, so there's different options, different ones, and of course during the overview and the presentation, people will be able to find out what those options are.
Okay.
You know,
Absolutely.
I think
Always encourage them to try something.
I think we piqued
You should
people's
fall in love
interest.
with something.
They want to find out more, and so
Mhm.
we want to provide that for them. So yeah, thank you for both of you for sharing that. Uh,
oh,
since one thing,
thank you, Carol.
one
Thank you
thing
for
we always
having us.
do on this show is we go back to Harriet. How is Harriet Tubman's story? Penny, I know I could see you as a modern day Harriet Tubman. You came
Thank you.
from struggling to Millionaire Club.
But
How
I
does
didn't go through what Harriet went through. Talk about a nurse. She had to have the worst fear, but she didn't know. Like I have, I had, she didn't know easy at all. She never had easy. Life
right,
was never easy for her. I
right.
had some easy spots compared to what Harriet had. And talking about a nurse of all nurses and how every time she went back to help another person be freed, she was scared. She had to be, but the passion to save overcame that fear.
Yes,
And it had to be phenomenal because she risked her life each time. I might have risked not eating that night, or but she literally risked her life
yeah,
many times to save another person.
yeah,
And in today's world, that's unheard of.
it's
Talk
true.
about a nurse of nurse. I can't even compare myself to her, not at all. I don't know if I could ever walk in her shoes. And she's such a tribute to the day, especially to today's women, to take that extra step, take a chance, because she did it every day
Yes,
to
yes,
get what she wanted to accomplish, and that is to save another soul.
yes. Beautiful. How about you, Deborah?
Oh, I applaud you, Carol, and for bringing this out of us. Penny, that was beautiful. And capitulating Harriet Tubman. I I always say, gee whiz. I mean, in school, they may have spent 3 minutes. Harriet Tubman led the Underground Railroad. 3 minutes. And
If
with
that,
learning from you, Carol, and my Oni Lasana and the Kwanzaa Queens, just learned so much more about what Minty went through. Then
I was
the
just
the
going
main
to say,
thing,
I mean,
the main thing that ties in with our business is her dreaming. When she got hit in the head and she was out like in a coma. And when she woke up, she was able to see things. She was able to dream. And the dreams of freedom, she never knew freedom. but she had dreams of the freedom. And our founder was the same way. He dreamed of things that had not even been invented yet. So her dream was so hard that it actually became a reality. And Penny said she was able to lead people to freedom that never would have experienced it just by having that dream and that goal.
Right. And you two ladies are very much examples of what Harriet taught and how her spirit encourages us. You're both servant leaders. Servant leaders are those people who Harriet had in their heart to help people and to make the world better for people. And then she became a leader, leading people that direction to help themselves. So they all could benefit from it. That's what you're doing with this business. So, yes, you are very much like Harriet Tubman, and many people are. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I try to bring that out of people because there's one spirit, your daddy, Penny, your daddy, God, is all of our daddies, and he is always with us, encouraging us. And we have the spirit of Harriet and so many other visions, representatives of love and God's love within us, and we have it working through us. And you two ladies are both great examples of that. And I thank you so much for what you do and your willingness to help other people because we need that. That is the new Underground Railroad. We're here to help each other, and we can make our age group, ladies, we are the power center. Right? We are the ones that have the wisdom, we have the experience, we know what God can do, and we have seen it, and we're feeling it, and we're living it, and we have to share that with our children and our grandchildren so much. So I appreciate you being here and sharing your stories and being willing to teach us how we can have our own businesses because there's so many women in our age group that are struggling financially or just lonely and have given up. I mean, they're feeling like there's no jobs for people in over 55 getting a job. It's not
Mhm.
easy, especially when younger people are losing their jobs. And so it's time to step up, right? Step up, step out.
Step
Yep.
up, step out. And you're
Right.
right, AI has taken so many jobs from people. The one thing that you triggered in my mind, Carol, is that ours is a sustainable income. When your job stops, your income stops.
Mm.
But when you build an unfranchised business, if you want to take a break, guess what? The income is sustainable. It will keep going. And it's just amazing. And it's a willable asset. We can will our businesses. My job as a singer, I can't will that
Mm.
to my children or grandchildren. But
Hmm.
this business, I can will to my children and my grandchildren and so on. It's a
Oh,
willable.
that's beautiful. That's a legacy there. So, love, leadership, and legacy. That's where I teach about from Harriet.
Yes,
So,
it
you all have all three. Beautiful. Now, one thing I need to mention that I didn't mention earlier, but the beautiful voice that you hear when my podcast begins every time is this beautiful lady in front of us. Deborah Thompson is the singer and the writer of the song that I open up with. Tell us a little bit about that, Deborah.
Oh my goodness, I will. It involves my beautiful daughter, my 45-year of age adult daughter. I was down on myself. We all, at some point in our lives, are down on ourselves. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So I was at the recording studio and I got a phone call from my daughter. I didn't answer it right away, but then I listened to her voice and she left me a voicemail. And my God, she was just thanking me. She lived in Atlanta, Georgia at that particular time, and someone had hurt her feelings. And also, someone had trashed their mother, did just said hateful things about their own mother. And she wanted to call me, and she just said, Mommy, I love you. She's an adult child, but she still calls me Mommy. I love that.
Hmm.
She said, Mommy, I love you. Thank you for being my mommy. Thank you for teaching me the right things. Thank you. Thank you. Just thanking her mother. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a breath of fresh air. And the my co-collaborator was playing this melody, and it was like he said, it's like you're taking dictation from the Lord above. And I just started writing these lyrics. You're like a breath of fresh air, softly blowing spring through your hair, and you bring joy and love to this place in my heart. And that's how that song came about.
And it is so beautiful. So beautiful. I asked Deborah, can I use that song? And she said, gratefully, yes, thank you. Thank you. It's beautiful. And a lot of podcasts, they only show play like 30 seconds of their intro. I can't cut it onto that short. It's just
Okay.
too beautiful, and the words are so touching. Thank you so much for that. Ladies, I really appreciate this time we've had together, and I'm sure that anyone listening is excited and ready to hear more about how that they can find out about your business and join you. So we're not going to put that off too far. We're going to find a soon time to have you in and share this with people. So thank you for today, and I appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank you. What
you
an
for
honor.
having us. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you,
Yeah,
Carol. Thank
You're,
you.
you're very
for
welcome.
leading that path. It's been an honor to have met you, Carol. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.